Hello my crafty friends, it's Jellybean, and it's week 1 of Elisha's Christmas collab, who is hosted by none other than our Elisha, who is Wagman510, who has come up with some really genius projects for this collab, and I can't wait to see what everybody innovates, because that's what Elisha has done, put together a team of people who are very innovative and can kind of spark some creativity. So I hope we can do that for you. Please be sure to go and check out all the ladies below. There's 10 ladies participating in this collab. And let me show you what I made. Now, it's not quite traditional Christmas, but I used one of Alicia's favorite colors, which is turquoise, a very light turquoise. And I'm gonna set this here for a minute because I'm gonna tell y'all a little story. When I was little in elementary school, my mother made something that was just a twist on Rice Krispie treats, and I'm 53 now, so that was a really long time ago. And that was way before you could go in the store and buy Rice Krispie treats. It's when it had just first come out to, you know, mix it with marshmallows, and the recipes were everywhere, but it was just the mix it with marshmallows and the Rice Krispies, and, you know, make them flat and everything and cut them and have treats. Well, we had come home and my mother had made some Rice Krispie treats, but she made them into balls. And then she covered them with icing, and then she rolled them in coconut. And those were the best Rice Krispie treats I remember ever having. And I've seen several different spins on Rice Krispie treats. But I have not seen the ones where you cover it in icing and then roll it in coconut. And while they look like snowballs, you can also color them and shape them like eggs for Easter. So they're very, very good with the coconut and icing on there. So that's the recipe that I used for my Memory Dex card for 2 reasons. Number one, they're really good, and I remember them as a child when I was growing up, something my mom created. Number 2, because snowballs kind of goes with Christmas. So there is an innovative part to this, and I'm going to show it to you in a minute, but first I want to tell you what I used for this. Now, I don't have a Memory Dex die, so I just cut out some chipboard and I covered it with this paper here, and this is a K & Company paper, and I have a bunch of K & Company paper that's not in the books anymore. I just have it all together and kind of grouped by color, so I don't know which book it came out of, but it came out of one of the K & Company books, is all I know to tell you. Then I took, and if you'll notice up here on the top, I pretty much covered the whole die cut, but I have a die, and this is the die here. It's the Spellbinder's Nest Abilities Gold Majesty Circles. This is like one of the first dies I ever got, and it's really, I love it. One of my favorites. So anyway, it has several different layers, and you could cut out the center and make a shaker out of it or whatever, but I didn't do that. I just cut it out like this and laid it on the card to give me a little bit of decoration on the top, plus a little bit more room going up. And then after I put a couple layers of that on there and stickled it up, I know you can't see the glitter on there, but it's got some. Then I started putting the other layers on. Now I used my Martha Stewart punch here, and I printed out my recipe on the computer, and then I punched it out with my paper punch, this Martha Stewart punch. and I inked around the edges with Broken China Distress Oxide. That's the color I inked around all the edges with. It's a turquoisey color. But I inked around the edges and I put it down, and then this is a poinsettia that I made. And I created that using this Spellbinder's die. It's the, I'm pretty sure it's just called poinsettia. Layered poinsettia. But, that's the number to it right there. It's like S5-055. And it makes really pretty poinsettias. But I cut it out of a silver, shimmer paper. I couldn't think there for a minute. And then I covered it with glitter glass. Well, I used that same ink pad and I inked the tips and then the center. And then I covered it with glass glitter, and the little stamens in the center are just white stamens that I pushed down in the ink so it would match. And then I took some iridescent stickles and I went on the tips and touched just put on the stamen. Well, actually, before I put the stickles on there, I put a little dab of this Snow White. It's a Snow Rider like. It's got a real fine tip. But then I also used this paper punch here from EK Success for the branches, and I got that at Hobby Lobby when they had the big clearance sale. And then I took the Snow Rider and went on the edges, this Snow Rider here. I went around the edges and just barely put some on the branches so it looked like snow. And then I stickled on top of that so it would glitter. And this is a sticker right here, this little apron that come out of this La Petite's Paper Studio. It's Baking Mixer 3D Sticker 5-piece. And I used another piece of it on the back I'm fixing to show you. But it come with the mixer and the apron and the spoon, and it come with an oven mitt and something else, but I used it a long time ago, I don't remember what. Then I just took some, this was also a paper punch that I had. This is a, doggone it, my mind just goes blank when I get on trying to make a video. I'll flash it below. I can sit here and think all day and not think of it till the camera's off. But anyway, that's also a punch, and I printed this out on my computer and then I punched it out with the paper punch and put my snowballs on there. And then on the back I made this little apparatus here that I'm fixing to show you, but this come out of the sticker pack. This is a Martha Stewart label sticker right here, of course a snowball, and this little red sticker, cooking is love made edible, come out of this come out of this Happy Planner pack right here. So that is everything I use. Now the innovative part is here, because what I did is I took and I made this to where, I hope you can see what it does. When you open it, it pulls up the recipe, and then you can pull it out and have it on your counter, but then you can put it back in there and it closes real simple. And I'm going to try to put it from the side so y'all can see when it opens, because this is really cool. You pull it open and see it peeking out, it pops right up. So that is the innovative part to this Recipe Dex, and the recipe directions are on the inside. Now, just so y'all know, I'm going to show you how I did this, the little pull-up thing. I took, and I had to use a 12x12 paper, so I used one out of a pack, because I use my solids a lot. I didn't want to use that. So I went in my paper pad and found a paper that I was least likely to use, and I used it to make my prototype to get everything right, and this is what it looks like. It is just a long sheet that narrows here and just gets smaller. And then you take it and you fold it down, and this part you glue. You glue this down to there, and this you leave flapping. And then because it's longer than 12 inches, I had to make a separate piece, and I cut my flaps right here. And then I glued it on the front like this. Now when you glue it, you don't have to stick that in there. You can glue it like this, and this will be glued up here. And then you stick it down in there. So then when you're pushing it down, it goes down, and when you're pulling it up, it pulls up, and you set your little card right here. You can set anything right there, and it's going to pull it up as you open the card. Now, I'm going to try something, and I don't know if I'm going to be successful or not, but I'm going to try to scan this into my computer and make a file out of it with this and this on a sheet. And if I can do that, I will email anybody that wants the pattern. That way you can cut it out. And these right here with the little arrow going this way means that you score them on the opposite side, because these are scored up and these are scored down. So you would score these two, flip it over, and score here and here. But that's why the little arrows, if you can see the little arrows, I put those on there so I would know to flip the paper over. And this is what I use for my pattern. Now I just go back and cut this out on the paper, mark it, cut it out, and then just put a little tiny mark where you score it at, and then score it and come back, fold it and glue it. And make sure you mash it down with your bone folder really good. And the same way with this. But I'm going to try to make a file out of it, and anyone who wants the file so they can make one of these pop-up, it's supposed to be a gift card holder, but it worked really good for my Recipe Dex. So anyone who wants the file, I'm going to try to scan it in, and you can print it out and then make one out of paper, any paper you choose. But anyway, this is my Recipe Dex for this week. I hope y'all enjoyed this. And please don't forget to go check out all the other ladies for all the innovative projects they're making this week. And we'll be back next week, and probably sooner, because I have a few more videos I need to get up. So y'all have a crafty day, and I'll see you real soon. Bye for now.